but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No.
Good morning, everybody. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know the voice. Y'all know the sound. It's your boy James Williams in the building. Good morning, everybody. Grab your coffee, your tea, whatever it is you need to get your morning started. Like it or not, it's about to go down. Good morning, y'all.
Life ain't a beach, it's a female dog. I'm staying 10 toes down, though I still might fall. Oh yeah, now I done came through, knocking pictures off you walls. Loving people who persecute you, it's still a tough be a light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel that disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me.
Good morning to you, Roller Dragon, Black Ninja, G-Man, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, wherever you're streaming from this morning. I see y'all. Good morning.
No, it just can't hurt me. No. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, no, no. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No. See, it's hard to be polite. It's easy being petty. Mama used to
John, good morning to you, Melanie Dennis. Good morning.
Ain't got no diamonds on me, but I stay shining. Yeah, yeah. They say the world would be a better place if we take out the hate.
Good morning, Lily.
Let's keep it real. It'd be better if we just subtract the fake. Yeah. So be a light up on my
Trevor, good morning to you, Trevor.
I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel like disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, no, no.
Laura Strada, good morning, Laura. Tiger's in the building. Good morning, Brother Tiger. Happy Thursday, everybody. Friday Eve is what we call it. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Like it or not, it's coming up next. Y'all don't want to miss it. Great show this morning, so stay tuned.
I'm in line with the stars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'ma ride for the squad. Lot of ties in the hearse. I've been on the vibe, kinda
Laser Sword, good morning to you.
I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I'm never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rap. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, do that ass survive, doing 80 to the house, then I hit it to the sky.
Nicole Howe, good morning. Elizabeth Longford, good morning to y'all.
We all want the same. We all want a meal in the safe. I want to live like I'm trying to enlighten. Trail spill from my lips, feel big from the bib. Take a sip to
right, Trevor, I love it.
Try and get grip, but it don't make sense. Cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just want to eat, save a spot at the table. Beats with the slap in myself.
So, I've just read an interesting fact. Bruce Lee had a vegan brother, Broccoli. Black Panther, good morning to you.
At me, old man, trying to pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see that. Then he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Suddenly, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the
cash. Singable, good morning.
No breaks on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad.
Roller Dragon, if you think that's something, my wife took off her shirt and brought doing an argument where I was winning. It was a booby trap.
makes sense. I just bang on the set list. Going past supper when I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers, I might put you on the guest list. Young and me reckless. Gold in my soul, got the same on my necklace.
All right, y'all know what time it is. Y'all already know what time it is. If you have not already, make sure that you go join patreon.com/likeItOrNot. Patreon.com/likeItOrNot.
Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Oh, Rebecca's on. It's coming through. You know she got a good story for you. Oh,
There may or may not be a remix in the works. There may or may not be a remix in the works. I guess y'all just had to find out. Wait to find out anyway.
DJ exclusive. Y'all know who I am.
I can't stand Rebecca one time.
Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all
this one is a summer jam is what we gonna call it.
Like it or not, it's starting now.
Lawrence Joseph, good morning to you.
Like it or not, it's about to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, people.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
Did not care who doesn't like you. You better come in with that energy this morning. I love it. And thank you so much because I feel it, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's giving Friday Junior, so I gotta
It is.
Friday, because the week has been trying to, I'm trying to, and I'm tired now, you know what I'm saying? But
work has been doing that 1-2 step on my ass all week long.
not the 1-2. Let me see you 1-2 step. Have you been
what?
You've been killing the moves though? You've been on it.
You missed it.
That good hip, good hip.
Child, both of them bad, girl. It ain't no good with no bad with no more.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that God took away both them good hips. Okay,
both of them. He got me for my 20s.
Oh Lord, I can't believe that. I can't believe that God would leave you with this one good hip. Listen, or no good hip at all. Oh Lord. But good morning, everybody, to everybody who is watching. If you are watching right now and you know somebody who isn't in the chat, if you know a family or friend who can use a good laugh on Friday Junior and some politics information, please like, share, subscribe. Not only that, send it. And if you haven't already, you already know the summer edition. We are doing it with the love in our hearts that we have for you. So patreon.com/like it or not, patreon.com/like it or not, Cash App Becca's Voice, Cash App DJ X3C, and also Venmo. So now that I got that out the way, I am your host, Rebecca Azord.
Hey. And I am your co-host, James Bubba Williams, DJ Exclusive, in the building, DJ X3C, you know, all those monikers and names and stuff that I have.
which are a lot, but they all seem to be consistent, and which is what I love, because the DJ X3C all across the board, James Bubba Williams, you know, if it's Bubba if you're nasty, you know. I told you it's Friday Junior. It's Friday Junior. We're trying to have a good time today. We want to get these major stories out of the way first, though, because there have been two developments that happened overnight. And we're gonna just go right on it. You know, R. Kelly, you know, the aura. Robert Kelly. Listen, he has been sentenced to 30 years in prison, and this is for sex trafficking charges. Yes, he has been sentenced to 30 years, and this whole sentencing has sent social media up in a doozy. So this was following his conviction last year on federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges, stemming from his efforts over years to use his fame to ensnare victims he sexually abused. And this is reported straight from CNN, because I don't use the word ensnare. Prosecutors had asked the judge to sentence Kelly, who's 55 years old, to more than 25 years behind bars, while his defense attorneys asked for 10 or fewer years. And they were saying the request was tantamount to a life sentence. Okay. So a lot of people, especially his abusers, his survivors, people who survived Kelly, they were saying they wanted more for him, but this is something where they can, at least justice is being served for them. A lot of people online were saying, this is interesting because these are things that happened so long ago. Some of these don't have proof. Some people were saying that, why are we fighting this? Why are we bringing another black man down? It was a lot of conversation going on. I do know that if you hurt somebody in any way, shape, or form, whatever color you are, you should definitely do the time. And if you don't do the time, karma will come back around and get you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm sorry, I was drinking. It just took a sip, but yeah, it's funny. My sister-in-law asked me the same thing. She was like, "I'm waiting on Bubba to comment about this 30 years sentence from R. Kelly." I'm just like, he got what he deserved. Honestly, it probably could have been longer. So
you think that he could have got a life sentence? Like, well, basically, because he about 55, so plus 30.
Child, that's it. Let's keep call the thing a thing. He about to spend the rest of his life in there. Now, granted, they gonna probably try to get him try to get it down. That they're gonna try to get that sentence down to about 10 years, like you said. But yeah, no, and that's just for one state, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the thing, the state of New York.
New York or Michigan, I think. I can't even remember which one it was.
Yeah, because I think they were like, that's just New York. The conversations were going on wherever it is. I will say that whatever he did and whatever he has done, of course, he deserves to pay. I will say that he also. Go ahead.
I was about to say we do have a clip as well too.
Okay, yes, and I'm having trouble getting into the document, so thank you so much for that. I was like, filibuster until I cannot no more. Let's take a look at the developments of the R. Kelly case.
Here this afternoon, we do now know that R&B star R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison. This happening on Wednesday for using his stardom to subject young fans, some just children, to sexual abuse. He is 55 years old. He is a singer and songwriter. He was now convicted of racketeering and sex trafficking last year at a trial that gave voice to accusers who had once wondered if their stories were being ignored because they were Black women. We did have one of the judges imposing this sentence after hearing from several survivors who attested how Kelly's exploitation had really affected their lives. Just one of those individuals, an unnamed survivor, directly addressing Kelly, who kept his hands folded, his eyes downcast, saying, "You made me do things that broke my spirit. I literally wished I would die because of how low you made me feel. Do you remember that?" Now, Kelly did not address the court. The sentence caps a slow motion fall for Kelly, who was adored by fans, sold millions of albums, even after allegations of his abuse to young girls had been circulating publicly in the 1990s. So this, again, just coming down here this afternoon. Wanted to bring it to all of our viewers who have been watching here with us on live now from Fox. R. Kelly continuing to deny any wrongdoing. He didn't testify at his trial, but his then lawyers have portrayed his accusers as girlfriends and groupies who weren't forced to do anything against their will. had stayed with him because they enjoyed the perks of his lifestyle. So R. Kelly had been jailed. He's been jailed without bail since 2019, still facing child pornography and obstruction of justice charges in Chicago, where a trial date set to begin in August on the 15th.
So I do believe that, of course, he did have some that benefited from his fame that stuck by his
Yeah.
side. And I do, and there is a conversation online and that where, the parents who were knowingly allowing their
Yep.
kids to be with him as well, them people as well. But we're starting here, at the person who was the abuser, and we're starting here. I think that we're at a great place. I do think that if he wants to get mental help while serving his time and things like that, he needs that. I think he's from childhood. I think there's a lot of things that are going on. That's no excuse, but I think that there are a lot of people who start off messed up and get no help and then get coddled in this world. His talents got him whatever the power that he can utilize and do and whatever that he can, his power and his money. And we've seen that with a lot of famous people who have been accused of abusing people. Once you get away with it one time, two times, now families are involved. Now, whatever, you're a sick person already. And now you're just out of control and everybody's looking the other way until it's too late. And now we have abused girls. So I do think he definitely should seek help. Suffering while he's doing his time,
Yeah.
But that's neither here or there. Are you still on mute? Are you still muting R. Kelly?
I I have not listened to an R. Kelly song. Like I may have. So even when I DJ, I haven't played any R. Kelly stuff since all of this, everything started coming out. And granted, the man's a musical maestro and a musical genius, but it's one of those things I just can't do it. I don't know. I was just about to ask you that same question, Rebecca, if you still listen, because I know it's a lot of people that have just like muted his music altogether.
Yeah. It Listen, this is the thing. I know how to separate, and people could fight me or whatever the case may be, because there's a lot of music that we listen to from sickos in this world, right?
Yeah,
if we didn't know their history, but this is, and he's terrible. Like, and there's a lot of music that he's written, so much catalog, so much.
Oh my gosh, yes.
To the point where at the versus battle, Omarion couldn't do a lot of the music because so much of it was written by R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, damn, you right.
Yes, and so here we are, and listening to. I go out and he'll be playing, and I'll just be vibing, not thinking, "Hey, this is R. Kelly." It just be like, "Step in the name of love." That literally just go. And here is the argument that people have online. Like people are saying, "I can't talk to this person anymore because this person listens to R. Kelly." Sometimes it's literally just the music, right? And for you, some people's opinions is that you got to be able to put the person with the music, and some people can separate the person from the music. Now, if I'm listening to my Pandora and I'm cleaning up, sometimes I don't even notice that an R. Kelly song played or whatever the case may be, because I'm into cleaning and I might be singing the song or whatever. So I say all that to say R. Kelly is still on playlists that I can't control, and I will listen to the music just for the music. But R. Kelly, don't make no mistake about it. R. Kelly is disgusting for doing this. R. Kelly has hurt people. R. Kelly deserves to do the time because he did the crime, and there are people who are broken because of what he's done, right? And so if we can show an example if we can show an example out of how Black women can be heard in this moment, because a lot of times Black women, especially young ones, who are speaking up or trying to speak up, or who have been brainwashed, because as a young girl, what do you know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In those moments, and they're not listened to. Remember, I was reading an article, and we're going to get to one of the accusers' testimonies here in a second. But I was reading an article, and in the article it stated, it was about R. Kelly, and it was saying, in the Me Too era. I talked to myself in the Me Too era. It was an era. That means it's not even a thing anymore. But that was the time it was popular, and now and it only became popular, and it's been out for a minute. It's been out for a minute. Remember? And I always say Tarana Burke was the Tarana Burke is a Black woman, and she was the one that brought this out circa 2008. And here we are with a white woman who said Me Too, and now we got white men going down like damn dominoes.
Like dominoes, right?
You know what I'm saying? And so I think all across the board, women need to be heard. And I think Black women shouldn't be at the bottom of a list, especially of a movement they created. Anywho, let's take a listen to accuser Lizette Martinez and what she had to say about R. Kelly's sentencing.
Special but hard day for us. I personally, this happened to me a long time ago. I was 17, I'm 45 today. I never thought that I would be here to see him be held accountable for the atrocious things that he did to children. I don't know what else to say except that I'm grateful. I'm grateful for today. And I'm grateful that Robert Sylvester Kelly is away, will stay away, and will not be able to harm anyone else.
All of my clients, who were, by the way, the majority of the victims who testified in this case, were very courageous as they testified and were cross-examined and or spoke to law enforcement or testified before a grand jury to assist in the prosecution of R. Kelly. Together, they were able to fight his power by becoming empowered young women themselves, who refused to be intimidated by him and his enablers. I am proud of all of them. And there are many sacrifices made in order to bring R. Kelly finally to the bar of justice.
It was a hard day. He's been sentenced to a serious sentence, but we are confident in our arguments that we raised in our post-trial motions, that although they didn't persuade the district court judge, that they will persuade the Court of Appeals.
Yeah. So
excuse me. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That coffee loosens up everything.
It does.
I remember, and it's so terrible. You know, I don't know if you remember. I'm sure, Rebecca, you probably remember, but you would have saw it probably later on in life. But I remember being in college. I'm talking about 99, 2000, and seeing that video. You know what video I'm talking about?
Now, I didn't get a chance to ever see that particular video in my entire life. Like I heard about it as soon as it came out. We made jokes about it. There were songs that we would play patty cake and insert that into it. It was
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing that nothing happened back then, that it took more than 20 years for something to finally happen. You know, that's how I kind of feel about it, because it's just like, nobody has to go through that, especially this man was doing stuff like this for like the longest.
And I said to my best friend in conversation, 20 years ago, even though it does not make it right, 20 years ago, a lot of these things were unfortunately accepted in a way where I'm talking about R. Kelly's actions. And it was almost like, I remember going to school and seeing my friends who, at this time, we were at late middle school, 99, 2000s, I was middle school, just to keep it clear. Ooh. 99, I was in 5th grade. So, but from moving, older in age and getting to the end of middle school, one of my closest friends was dating an older man. Yes. And we were like 13, 14, and he would come pick her up. We're talking about 13, 14, and the man would come pick her up. And this was normalized this was normalized. And my older sisters and their friends, they had the same relationships, and this was normalized. And I hate to say this, but that was in my particular community. And these older men would prey on these young girls, and they would pick them up from school, and parents didn't know what was going on most of the times. And some of my friends' parents did know, was saying, my boyfriend's going to be introduced to my mama. Girl, did you even get your period yet? My mama would say, and my girlfriend laughs at this all the time. My mama's Haitian, so if you're Haitian or if you're Caribbean, you understand. My mama would be like, "You don't even know how to wash your panty, and you want boyfriend."
Oh my gosh.
You don't even have to clean your womb, and you want boyfriend. Listen, it used to be like that, child, embarrassing me. So I could never bring a boy home. Okay, your Haitian parents will try to say they will bring out things that had nothing to do with nothing. They'd be like, "Do you even have to cook? And you want boyfriend?
Boyfriend."
Like, why would she do that? Why would she do that? Why is she saying those things? Like, that's embarrassing, mom. Like, these are my friends. Like, anyway,
that's terrible.
I gotta say, she was like, keep your little grown behind at home. There was nobody coming here. I saw a lot of my friends. You know, I knew friends that parents were okay, and I knew friends whose parents were very protective over them because they knew there were predators out there like that. But back then, it wasn't, especially in the Black communities that I lived in, and I lived in a mixed community. I even saw white girls too have older boyfriends. So it was not like it was.
They were the main ones. They were the main ones.
They were the main ones that their parents were okaying at the time. And in the Black community, because we lived in the suburbs. So, you know, in our Black community, the Haitian part, them parents would be trying to hold them girls tight. But then I would go to school and I would see older men picking them up in vehicles, older men, and God knows what they were doing to them. And now that I think back at it, it was normalized. It was kind of off to me at the time. Because I'm like, should I have a boyfriend or should I and should he be older? Like, I was confused. But then again, it was like, whatever. Just another day, another dollar in school. And now, so that was 20. So I saw that to say 20 years ago, a lot of that stuff was normalized, even though it shouldn't have been. We didn't have our eyes open at the time enough, or we did not have enough backing to say this should stop. Because when you have money and when you have power, that's all you need to run through life. And then when you are mentally unstable, God knows, you know, there was somebody giving the biography of his life, and I'm like, ooh. He never got help, and this is what it resulted in. And people actually, like parents giving their kids off and whatever, it was feeding that man to grow into the bigger abuser that he became to be.
Yes. And it's really one of those things, like you would think that the parents would get some of that, but I'm just like, now you saw Martinez, she's 45 years old. Like, how many of these parents are even, I guess you could say still alive, but are even old enough to deal with some of this stuff now? But because back then they saw it as, okay, my daughter, yes, she's young, but this is going to be a way for the whole family to come up and be fine.
Yeah.
And then prime example, Aaliyah.
Yeah. And you know,
my baby girl.
Yeah, shout out to, you know, baby girl Aaliyah. I used to tell my mama to press my natural hair to the side and it would just puff up, but for that good 5 seconds I would have a soup in the front.
You know, you stayed in Florida, child, you know that thing was gonna puff up right when you walked outside.
The humidity, that's why listen, when I finally got that perm, my mama was like, thank the Lord, because I couldn't comb another bead of bead. I couldn't comb another bead of bead. Yeah, anywho, we say all this to say R. Kelly is getting what he deserves. I also hope that in whatever time that he has left on this earth, and in there, you know, he gets some kind of reckoning, and he gets the opportunity to talk to somebody while he's up in there. Stuff needs to be fleshed out, and if you know, because seeing somebody who has been disturbed be able to just freely abuse people isn't okay. We got to start looking at people who show signs of that, what that looks like, how we can protect our girls, how we can protect our women. We need it all. You hear me? So anywho, we're right there. We're right here moving on to the next story. But Laura Estrada, yes, I did get my cocktail money. It's, you know, it's Friday Junior. Got my cocktail money. I'm gonna go get me a little sippy sip, a little drinky drink, but that's after the show because the girl gotta work. On my other job, I have a sippy sip. But next story's up, you guys. We have another development, and I actually like this particular story, you guys.
Yeah, right.
It's been so long coming. If you don't remember me talking, I did watch the Emmett Till story, about his mother. But the Emmett Till story, I watched that I was telling you guys how it made me so upset. I don't know. You know what? Before we get to the story, Bubba.
Wait. Go ahead.
Why during look, because it ain't the 99 2000s, why during the 20s and the 2021s that they was giving us all these type of movies while we were already down and out? Like, I don't see those type of movies being played now and those type of specials being played now. But during the panoramic, it's still panoramic happening right now. But during the beginning of the pandemic, that's all we was getting in TV while we was going through it already in the streets.
Those uplifting Black Power, stand strong kind of stuff.
Yeah, but this wasn't giving uplifting Black Power. They were giving me, I need to go out and fight.
That right.
I need to go out and go get me one of them people that my ancestors suffered from. I need to go pull up on somebody because I need my reparations. That's what it was giving me.
My 40 acres and a mule.
I kept coming on here upset saying, y'all, I just watched this show. And this show showed me a lot of times why the system acts the way it acts. The system don't love us, my brother. That's what it was giving me. Anywho. The system don't love
Where you had it?
Listen, it ain't gonna go on my ponytail, but it'll be hanging off to the side. But those, listen, I'm thinking back about that. And I'm like, what? Why were they feeding that to us in that time? Look, conspiracy theories. It was to keep us down. But also, I can't lie, it actually educated me in stuff that I probably wouldn't have heard more about. We needed those stories in some of those cases, like the Emmett Till one. We needed more of the details about those stories. And so here we are, 1955. The 1955 warrant in the Emmett Till case has been found, and now the family seeks arrest. A team searching a Mississippi courthouse basement for evidence about the lynching of Black teenager Emmett Till has found the unserved warrant charging a white woman in which is Emmett Till's 1955 kidnapping, and relatives of the victim want authorities to finally arrest her nearly 70 years later. The warrant for the arrest of Carol Bryant Dunham, identified as Miss Roy Bryant on the document, was discovered last week by searchers inside a file folder that had been placed in a box. LaFleur County Circuit Clerk Elmis Stockstill told the Associated Press on Wednesday, documents are kept inside boxes by decades, he said, but there was nothing else to indicate where the warrant dated August 29th, 1955 might have been. They narrowed it down between the 50s and the 60s and got lucky, Mr. Stockstill said, and he certified that the warrant was genuine. The search group included members of the Emmett Till Legacy Foundation and two Till relatives, his cousin Deborah Watts, head of the foundation, and her daughter Terry Watts. Relatives want authorities to use the warrant to arrest Dunham, who at the time of the slaying, the murder, the assassination, was married to one of two white men, tried and acquitted just weeks after Till was abducted from a relative's home, killed, and dumped into a river. Serve it and charge her is what Terry Watts told AP in an interview. So give me one more. I gotta see if we got any. Okay, let me see if we got anything for that. Because remember, I wasn't on the There we go. We do. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, guys.
The family of Emmett Till wants authorities to make an arrest in his lynching that happened nearly 7 decades ago after a team discovered an unserved warrant in the basement of a Mississippi courthouse charging a white woman in his kidnapping. The warrant, dated August 29th of 1955, names Carolyn Bryant Dunham as Mrs. Roy Bryant as the kidnapper. Emmett Till was abducted from a relative's home, killed and dumped into a river after Dunham accused him of making improper advances to her in a store. A witness said the 14-year-old whistled at her. His accused killers were tried and acquitted, but admitted to the killing later in an interview. Dunham is now in her 80s and most recently lived in North Carolina. The Till family is calling for her arrest. The district attorney's office that would oversee the case declined comment on this story.
Wow. My thing is, it was just in a basement, just chilling. Y'all knew where that warrant is. Y'all already knew where it was. And what happened is somebody didn't get to it in time before everybody else did to see that it was there. So I'm sure they were probably trying to destroy it or hide it away somewhere. No, we got it now. Go get her ass.
Go get her ass. And here's the funny part about it. Last year, I think it was last year sometime, I had played a video on here about people, Fox News host, or it wasn't a Fox, it was some news host actually doing a special on this because it's been hidden, it's been tucked, it's been every time somebody tries to talk about it in the media, it just goes nowhere. So there's this man that did his due diligence, found where she lived at the time, and this was a while back, found where she lived at the time, went up to her house, saw her son there, went up to the house, knocked on the door, and the son was like, "You need to go. You know, she lives here. Leave my mom alone. You need to leave her alone. This needs to end. This needs to stop." No, there was a mother who never got to see her child grow. There was a mother who passed away fighting for justice for her child. There was a justice system that only wanted to protect these people. There was a magazine that took the person's testimony, the murderer's testimony, let them play out what happened in a magazine. Emmett Till's grave is constantly being tagged by racist people. Constantly. Where they have a memoriam for him, it's constantly being spray painted racist things. Y'all knew.
That's terrible.
Y'all knew for years, and I mean decades, that this was available. Y'all knew for decades that this paperwork was there. It was at that time, like I said, back in the day, there were a lot of things that were okay that should have never been okayed. The system allowed a lot of things to happen. The street codes allowed a lot of things to happen. And back then, street code meant white folks code only. Listen,
right?
Friend of a cousin of a friend. You know what it is. You a police officer. You a sheriff. You the judge. You know what to do. Hide that document. If nobody can get to it, then it never was produced. It never was created. If nobody can get to it, then that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, and now I just feel like we're at a time that raggedy heifer needs to go down. I ain't wanting to talk about the old folks like that. And you see me, I have a heart that will see somewhere where somebody, you know what I'm saying, a little cloud for somebody.
Right.
But this woman who has lived her life this whole time, got to live it, got to see her kids grow up, got to move from place to place to save face, knew the backing that she had in her community. This woman needs to die in jail. And I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that. I don't like talking like that.
That's normally not Rebecca.
It ain't in my state. It ain't me.
Lock that ass up.
But lock that ass up. Throw away the key.
Lock that ass up. 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 Lock that. My bad. I'm sorry. I just went off on a tangent. I apologize.
That ass up. Throw
Put that on a shirt.
Put that heifer, right. Put that heifer underneath the jail, because for years and years, this case allowed so many other Black boys. Allowed so many other to be murdered, and their murders by these racist people, and gotten away with. All right, run that clip, Josh.
Oh wait, not that one. Which one are you talking about?
The one that you got.
Oh yeah, not yet. That's it. So you go to the next story. It goes to the next story, but after you talk about it, because it's funny as hell. Yeah.
All right. So at this point, this is where we are now. Right, Tiger. Carolyn, Roy, Whatever your name is, Pepper. Listen,
you about to lose your job.
That's right. You about to lose your job. But they
What
said
is that?
you about to lose your job. She's going to
Read
lose.
this card.
She needs to get stripped of all rights. Grandmother, mother, elderly driver, elderly homeowner. Everything needs to be stripped from her. Everything she got. Every single thing she has.
Can you imagine
Miss Roy Bryant, Caroline Bryant Dunham? Trash.
Can you imagine being her family and living with this for like your whole life growing up? Like, do they hide that under the rug? Do they talk about it when they go somewhere? Do they even know that that's her children? Probably not. I saw it. I wouldn't want to be known because I would be in fear for my life. I'm honestly, truly surprised that nothing has happened to her while she's living up there in North Carolina. I'm just being honest.
Ooh, she keeps running. But she got friends in them. She's only moving to places, I believe, that are. She's only moving to places where she knows she's going to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Black folks try to find areas that are safe to grow old in, to find housing, to make sure they're not bothered. Like, yeah, here she is running. She's not running from the law, child. She's running from everybody who knows once they get a hold of her name and who her neighbors are. She knows it's not going to be good for her, and her kids should have the same fate.
Right.
Unfortunately,
absolutely.
It wasn't their fault that they were born into this family and had to deal with this, but for them to have to hide, and I know to protect your mom and your dad, and protect your parents or whatever. They even spoke. There was in the document. You guys have to find it, because after you watch the film or the series about it, you want to know more. So they even spoke to the man who had a shop, closed down a shop, then had another one. He was okay with business. Then he made commentary like basically like, y'all need to stop coming around here. They deserve what they got. It is what it is. Leave us alone. These are the people that sound off, right? They think after doing that and hurting somebody's life, we're talking about time after time, everybody has to wake up and remember that Emmett Till is gone and be afraid that their little boy can be gone. Fast forward to today's day and age. Back then, they were saying, forget about it. We done killed. We done did that. Today, these Republicans, all these people who have hurt people, been at the hands of people's deaths and people's being Black folks, mainly our Black boys and our Black men being shot down and murdered, and never getting justice, and these police officers getting away with it. This is a mirror of what happened then, how they were able to get away with it then. A lot of them today. We got Kyle Rittenhouse, who was walking free in this world. Free in this world.
Making goddamn money.
People at a protest and threatening other people, still in this world living his life. And here's the funny thing about it. Well, it's not so funny, but people are actually saying that, we need to forget about it. It happened. It is what it is. America really lives and thrives off of that idea. Like they thrive off that. No, we're not going to do that. Any chance that I get and beat it into your head. I even seen people recently saying we're going to have to wrap up these conversations and these opinions on Roe versus Wade being overturned. And while I may not like a lot of them too, I may not like a lot of the commentary being made or whatever the case may be, no, we're going to keep it in y'all behinds.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime a conversation about Emmett Till comes up, we had to keep bringing it up. You guys will never be comfortable for what you did. You will never sleep right. It will go down in your ancestors, in your blood for what y'all did. You will never live right until you do right by this family. Turn that old lady in. Turn that bag of bones in.
Rebecca, you see the fingers.
Listen, until you do right by Emmett Till. I'm Haitian, so don't let me say it. Don't say. I'm Haitian as hell.
You Haitian as hell, girl.
Anywho, I hope that we do see something develop from this, because I have mentioned Emmett Till more than once in the show with developments, and nothing has really came of it. I hope that this brings something more, because I want it. We need it, and I think that no matter where we can get justice, even if it's a million years later, we're at least a toe, because we ain't even a full step, at least a toe forward.
Yeah.
Okay, at least a toe forward Let's see what we got up next here. Because I'm telling you, the sheet is a little crazy on my end. It's not your fault, Josh. It's my computer. It's acting crazy.
Oh, you want me to go ahead and get it? I got you.
Go ahead, because I can't. It's big. It's small and big.
So big bad Tesla workers face issues after being forced to work on site. So workers are faced with nowhere to sit after Musk forces them into the office. Tesla CEO Elon Musk had warned its employees to run to the office or lose their jobs. The employees who could not afford to lose their jobs returned to the office only to find occupied desk, no parking slots, and crappy Wi-Fi. As per a report published by The Information, Tesla employees who returned to Tesla's Fremont, California facility complained that they did not even have a place to sit when they entered the office complex. The employees did not get space to park their cars. Some who managed to get to work desk had to deal with crappy Wi-Fi, which interfered with their work. And the situation got so bad that managers had to ask employees to continue working from home until the logistics got sorted. Rebecca, sound like somebody you know, huh?
It sounds just like somebody I know, baby. Somebody that I used to know. It sounds like somebody that I know, baby. A few folks. We know that reading that is just like that's
don't this and the funny part is this is happening in several major corporations. Y'all trying to make people go back to work, and y'all not even ready to have these people back yet. Clearly,
somebody that I used to know, they'll fall in the bar.
Okay, well, Rebecca, there's been another development. This is the clip that I just shared. Josh, play that clip, because apparently Tesla has now laid off more than 200 of their workers. So you were forcing them to come back into work just to lay them off? Josh, play that clip, please. The one from YouTube, the one I sent you.
Yeah, so the layoffs started this morning at manager level. The San Mateo facility, according to sources, is where a lot of data labeling takes place, where they basically take video content generated from Tesla owners' vehicles while they're using autopilot, feed annotations to it to improve the car's ability to detect the world around it. Once they'd informed managers in person, later in the day, they then laid off the rest of the staff. They've been moving staff out of that facility in San Mateo to the Palo Alto office in some cases. But my understanding is that that facility is now completely shuttered. And one source told me that as many as 250 people were told that their jobs or they were laid off today.
Why?
You know, this is an area that Elon Musk has talked about, right? Outside of the production hourly workers on the assembly lines, building the physical cars, building the battery packs, Tesla just grew too quickly in these ancillary areas. You know, autopilot was making a lot of progress on the AI side. It was such a priority in terms of hiring talent last year, 2021. But my understanding from sources, and Elon Musk told our John Micklethwait about this last week, right? They just grew too quickly. So this is part of the broader scheme of 10% reduction in salaried employees. But Elon Musk told us last week, guys, this would net out at 3.5% because hourly workers will increase overall. And this is just a short-term reduction in headcount.
Child.
Oh, honey, a short-term reduction in headcount. Short-term reduction in headcount. That means that you're firing people who are working in the office, and it's only for short-term. Liar. Lying. So I'm going to tell you this. I have somebody that I know who just was hired onto Google not too long ago and then was fired from Google, right?
Wow.
And her and a lot of other people. And the person who hired her on said there was nothing they can do because everything that I apologize, I have to log in. Everything that the company had everyone that the company had hired on during the 2020, 2021 period. Remember, everybody was getting jobs at these corporations that they probably could have never got those jobs before, but because they were looking for somebody, they were looking for people, they were looking for someone to fill in those seats that, you know, a lot of people were like, I ain't coming back to work. So they were hiring on anybody. Y'all know the period of time I'm talking about where you were just applying the jobs on faith and you were getting it. Crazy times, right? Crazy times. Now they're firing all of you guys. They're firing all those people who don't want to go back to work, who were already working there for, before COVID-19, before the start of COVID-19, I need to say, but they really they got to go back, or they going to be getting there and Elon Musk and being Elon Musk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to take away your little cubicle, because they're cubicle farms. So they're going to take away your cubicle, and they're also going to threaten your job. And recently we saw that Elon Musk stated that, hey, yeah, we're going to celebrate June 19th. Remember Juneteenth? And then they was like, oh my God, I did not even see that from you. He tweeted back, yeah, but they're going to have to, it's going to be something that they got to put the day in for, because I'm not paying for that. They're gonna have to use their vacation day for that.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's like, don't they do that with July 4th and all those other? They're gonna have to use a vacation day for that. And no, July 4th we have the day off. Period. It's a paid
Right.
holiday.
I mean, most people have a paid day off.
Yeah, but
I mean, I do, but
but so many people right now are suffering, you guys. They're suffering.
Yes.
I know from Google, they're suffering from, we just heard about Netflix doing their second round of layoffs.
Yep.
And that's their second public round of layoffs. I'm pretty sure they've been laying off people. So they created a whole diversity and inclusion team.
And they were probably the first ones to go.
They were the first ones to go. They were all on the Black Voices crew during the pandemic. They created, they brought in remember when I was saying, look, it's just tying together. God, I hear you. Why were we getting all this Black content at the time that was, very sensitive or whatever the case may be? And we were getting good Black content too during Netflix. You can't tell me you still watching Netflix today. Like for real, if you are, you didn't watch like you did during the beginning of the pandemic.
No.
I know that for sure. They were catering to Black folks at that time. So they had to pull in Black creators. And to make Netflix look good in that time, they wanted to say, hey, for those of you who were fired, we're going to create this new group. We're going to create this new sector in our offices, at Netflix. And it's going to be geared towards just Black content with Black content creators. We want to hear your voice. We want to tell the stories through your voices. Oh, honey, it ain't even last a year. Fired them all. They took to Twitter and they all discussed it together. A lot of them saying that they made a commitment to Netflix while taking a leap from their jobs at the time that were secure, moving from their cities that they considered home, so many different things, and kicked to the curb. Some of them putting their resumes online. So a lot of these big name companies wanted to hire a lot of people, and they already had plans to fire once what we say, once this is all over, we're going to make sure we fire they behinds. And so a lot of people are suffering from what these corporations are doing, and they're big name corporations and even small businesses who did the same thing. But now a lot of those people who quit their jobs want to come back to work, and these corporations are like, hell yeah, because we don't want to train, we don't want to pay to train, we don't want to do that. I was speaking to my friends. I have a friend of mine whose mother worked for a certain corporation, and even that corporation was talking about how people were applying for homes and things like that. She said 90% of the loans were just pushed to the side. You know what I'm saying? So these are corporations that always been acting funny, always disrespect their employees, always treat them some kind of way. And now we're in a day and age where a lot of these employees aren't going to take it, but it's abusive. This is abusive. This is for those of them who just got these jobs and were thinking that they're now secure. The fact that they're able to have the job ripped up from under them. I know that you're saying in the comment section, Melanie, you said unionize. And I do believe that these corporations definitely unionize, or the people who work for these corporations should unionize so they can be protected from things like this. A lot of people don't know about unionization. They don't know about that, or corporations look down on that, and they will scare you out of unionizing. Yeah,
absolutely. It's just crazy, man, because they what they did last year, Rebecca, going back to what we were talking about, they put that that stuff up there. Let's capitalize off the civil unrest right now. And we'll hire a whole diversity and inclusion team because a lot of corporations did that. And what we'll do, we'll fire them after once you get into middle of next year, we'll just go ahead and fire everybody because by that time, there'll be something else that came about.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is the problem. We're all even at the corporation that I am currently working in, a lot of people that were hired on and who were temporary when they first started, I remember a lot of people quit or went home and called a certain somebody to protect their position at the job. So they were able to take this time off. But as soon as those people came back, a lot of those people that were temporary, or when they left, they were put in permanent positions, but now their jobs are being threatened. There have been so many different changes where they're saying, hey, if you don't meet this requirement, they're like changing things so that you can fail and they can have an excuse to fire you and bring back the old folks back into the office, and the office not have none of the things that they said it had. Let me tell you guys, the office said that they have a mental health area. It was a beanbag chair and a foosball table used.
Oh, wait. It was used? It wasn't even brand new?
Brand new. Was not brand new. The fire sprinklers, the water sprinklers had detached. And at the time, someone that I know was texting their manager about something and got a reply back with the sprinkler. And with it, a message that said, the building's falling apart. This is right here inside of the west wing of the building. That's where it's most populated. If it was to catch on fire, y'all gonna fry. So somebody I know wrote back and said, hey, is this for me? And then that person, the manager, wrote back, forget I ever sent that. Wrong person. So y'all going back to offices that are moldy, like not clean. Some people still had food in the desk. The emails that were sent out to that person that I used to know, it said it's sanitized, it's clean. You're coming back to something that we've worked hard on. We put a lot of money into. There'll be more parking spots. Every other day in this person's email that I used to know, it says there are parking issues right now. Stop parking here. There's no room to park. This and that. Y'all, they just trying to get y'all to come back. Nothing is ready. Whatever they promised you is not there
at all.
Choose wisely.
Yeah, that's funny. This beanbag
chair and the foosball table used.
Ooh, and mental health, huh?
Oh, and those for mental health.
Okay, so what if ain't nobody else there to play foosball with me, and I just gotta play by myself? That to me is making my mental health even worse.
In this particular office of somebody that I used to know, there used to, remember when I told you guys, or that person told me to tell y'all, that there's no service or anything.
Just take down, okay?
There's no service or anything. Remember when I was telling you guys about that? There was no service. There was no nothing. It was like a jail cell. You guys know how a cubicle office is. When you go into the cubicle office, they make sure that if you happen to score a seating by the window, you've won. You've made it. But they made sure that they did not have any service on your cell phones. Could you imagine being a parent, being somebody who had ADHD child, being somebody who can't take just sitting at a computer and not being able to look away and rest your eyes because you're on the blue light on the computer. This is the type of life that you did not know you were living all those years. They just wanted to have you and police you in these cubicle cells, I should say, and they just keep you there. But anyway, I say that to say all of that, y'all, all of that. Now, here's another perk of in the office of somebody that I used to know. You can have your cell phone at your desk.
You say you can?
Yeah, come on back to work and hold on to your cell phones. It was less than 3 days, y'all, since somebody that I used to know, 3 days, y'all, that person got an email stating you can no longer use your phone. Y'all, back when the office at that time, pre-pandemic, was open, that person would get tickets from a security officer who walked around, and if your phone happened to be out, that person would get a ticket on their desk with a fine.
Really?
Yes. So anyways, I say, do you really want to go back to the office? And if you are there, how are you feeling? Can you protect yourself? Are there things that you can do? And this is things that I ask somebody that I used to know all the time. This is things these are questions that you must ask yourself, because we have seen the light prior to, and then we've actually seen how our corporations actually handle their employees. How our managers and our leaders put in place actually do nothing at this job.
Right.
We're actually looking at abuse and how they're telling you, no matter what your credentials are, you have to get hazed to go home and work. You got to cross burning sands.
Right. Child. Wait, I'm getting it. Okay, never mind. It's just your headphones. Never mind. Cool.
Well, that I can stay on that topic all day, but I won't. So forget Tesla and what they doing to people.
Okay.
Now,
and Rebecca, we made it through all our stories.
We made it through all of our stories, and we've been doing a pretty good job. What you guys think? If we've been doing a pretty good job, I need you guys to throw some lions, because I haven't seen any lions in the chat in a minute.
Right.
There's some fire emojis in the chat. I'm trying to see what the lion crew looking like for the summer. Throw them up in the chat. If we've been doing a good job, if you like what we're doing, please, please, please throw those up in the chat. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure that if you love us and you mean it, you support us as best as you can at Becca's Voice on Cash App, and you support DJ X3C, your favorite DJ on YouTube, baby. DJ X3C. You make sure you support us on Cash App, Becca's Voice, DJ X3C. And if you are a Patreon, thank you so much for rocking with us, holding us down this summer. We love you, mean it, but we don't want to leave you like that. We got a few positive Black Joy clips that we want to drop.
Rebecca, so let me ask you a question. I'm gonna juxtapose this question. So, do you watch P-Valley?
Oh, so you want to talk about that? My stomach is growling. Do you want to talk about that?
Do you watch it?
I have never seen one episode of P-Valley, but
okay, so we won't go there then.
The conversation. No, we can't.
Oh, okay. So you have seen the conversation.
Exactly the conversation you're talking about.
Okay. So yeah, Josh got the clip from. We was gonna play it yesterday, but I think he finally was able to get it today. What is today? He was able to get it today. So
is it that clip?
Huh?
Is it the clip of the scene?
Oh hell no!
Oh. Okay, sorry guys. I just needed to.
So you know what? I'm sorry. I'm just about to start playing stuff without giving y'all some background information. So P-Valley is a show that comes on Stars, and it's about basically them owning a strip club in Chucalissa, Mississippi. It is so country, and I love all of it. So it shouldn't. No, it won't. It won't. Can't stand y'all. So in this scene, there is a rapper called Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford. Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford have a thing going on, but clearly, no, not right now, because Lil Murda is on tour or whatever. So Lil Murda and his friend are engaged in a very randy sex scene on the latest episode. And a lot of people have been going to social media talking about, I forgot the guy's name, Alfonso, his acting and how real and everything it is. The guy that plays Little Murda is actually straight. and married to a woman. So he plays this role very, very well. And so now people are just going over and they are going down, just downplaying his acting. And it's all it is acting, y'all.
Because he came out on the show, like his character.
Yeah, because his character is like a DL. If you don't know what DL mean, y'all, it's the down low black man that's a rapper. I mean, it's like every other rapper out here. So that's what he plays. He plays the role very well. But this guy, that the clip we're about to play, one guy breaks it down very well for people so they'll understand it's just damn acting. So please, Josh, run that clip.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Josh, we can't hear the sound. I know you said to let you know.
Yeah, so it's no sound. So,
yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, we can't hear the sound, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
that clip just don't want to get played on the show. It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's fine. So what did he?
I'll post the link in Discord so y'all can go see it yourself. There we go.
And make sure you don't leave out the Twitter family as well. Make sure you figure out that.
I got you.
All right. But speaking of P-Valley, for those of you who don't watch it, I don't watch it either, but there was a conversation that was circulating online about a very intimate scene on the show where two men were involved in a sex scene. Right before that sex scene, there was two women who were involved in a sex scene. So there were two on this episode, but the one that sent social media in an outrage and a doozy was the male on male. And now we know how intense some sex scenes can be in movies, whether they're with women on women, or a woman with a man, which is more acceptable, socially, the social norm. But when you see two men together, singer, rapper, comedian Lil Duval took to social media to say, we need a viewer discretion before a male on male scene is shown, because it's something crazy. Because it's something that we're not used to. So let us know what we're about to get into before we see it. So this started a full conversation. So that's what I thought you were going to get to, Bubba. But that started a full conversation online. Little Duval has since been had a lot of support, of course, behind him with that, and
of course,
also a lot of people were saying that it was. He even prefaced it and said, it's the same way I don't want to see my mother with any kind of sexual scene or seeing her in a sexual light. So I'm not homophobic because I'm not used to seeing an older person or whatever. I don't want to see them in a sex scene. It's just not a social norm. So please prepare us before we see this on air. And then he said, I'm not homophobic. And people were saying, well, you definitely are very homophobic for making that statement. So what are your thoughts on that?
It has always been one of those things to where whenever it comes to male anything, be it a performance on an award show, be it at a concert, be it on TV or whatever, it's always like looked at like it's so wrong and so terrible. But child, you put two women on there doing whatever the hell you want, y'all go in the frick for it and just be like, it's okay. It's the same damn thing, because it's another man with a penis. You better be glad I said penis, because I sure wanted to say something else, and I'm glad I caught myself. But it's because it's two men, so y'all get offended. But y'all cool when it's two women. Make it make sense to me. That's why this country is stupid as hell as it is. It's dumb. It's really dumb. And they really did it like Lil Nas X. That's why he does what he does. That's why he's so over the top, because Boosie dumbass, you can get on stage and have all these strippers twerking your ass and doing all this other wild, crazy stuff. But then when he gets on there, has all male dancers and he dancing on the male or kissing the male, then y'all feel some type of way. Just make it make sense.
And it's very interesting too. And I'll say this, and look, this is, I hear Dwayne in the background where let me just play devil's advocate. I'm not playing devil's advocate anyway. I don't like seeing intense sex scenes on, like, it gives me porn. I don't like seeing it, period. And especially if it's something that I haven't seen before, it's like I don't know why I get embarrassed when I see sex scenes, like kind of embarrassed.
You what it is. You're such a prude, Rebecca.
Yeah, no, and it's so funny because I be in these streets and when I see stuff like that, I'm like,
such a prude.
Oh God, like that's crazy. Yeah, and it's crazy because I be up here and then I be down here. There's no balance of me. But So I did see that on Twitter. I seen a scene, but then I said, okay, it wasn't that crazy. Like it wasn't that crazy as people were trying to make it seem, because I was like, what's happening? Like, why are people so upset about this scene? Like, if you don't like it, change it. Well, you know what I do if I'm uncomfortable and I get weirded out watching TV, like, and it's with any sex scene or things that make me feel weird, I'll pause it or skip over it and continue to watch. That's an option too. Yeah. Ooh, secondhand embarrassment scenes too bother me. I have to pause it and I can't go back to the show for a minute. It's a weird thing. Really? I don't know why. If I see somebody get embarrassed, like, and it's just, I'm like, ooh, that's embarrassing.
Snack Panther just said it. He's like, you religious. That's why, girl. You was like one of the little sanctified holy girl.
So yeah, I was a seasoned junior saint when I was younger, but in my life, I can't say, I all the rules apply, because y'all know I be in these streets. I tell you guys first, sex is beautiful, life is great, black men are great, black women are great, like all of it, like it, you know what I'm saying? I'm here, I'm there, but there are things, and it might be my conservative side where I'm
it's your conservative side.
Dang, is the kids in the room? All the kids in the room? All the kids in the room right now. Now you go, you shouldn't be out here right now. And then I'd be like, who trying to fast forward? Who? And then, no, it's y'all. It gets really weird for me when it's like you're here. I'm watching TV. Most of the backs go like hit the toothbrush to get the food, the nachos out of my teeth. And I come and I'm in the bathroom and I'm hearing sex sounds come from my TV.
Oh yeah.
It makes me crazy because I'm like, it's a television show. Why?
But what's funny is right now that a lot of the people in the chat are agreeing with you. Like they say the same thing.
And I hate
y'all all
that
prove.
way.
Tell me everything. Let me see the penis.
It's like you be on. Oh my God, you'll be on your phone out in public, and you just happen to click something on Instagram, and now it's like, now you're clicking on 95 things trying to get out, and it's still in the background. You going crazy. Listen, it has happened to me, and it's like, dang Lord, like, and like I said, sex is a beautiful thing. When you're engaging in it, you can be as wild and free as you want. When I'm watching it, it's just like it's equivalent to me watching porn sometimes. Like it gets crazy, and it's not because it's male on male, female on female, whatever. It just, I'll be like, oh my God, so the whole world is watching this right now simultaneously.
So Rebecca, you don't watch porn?
It's just not my thing. It's not. I am the porn. Like I feel like when I'm with my man, I am the porn. So it's like
you better say that.
So it's just not my thing. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I can't stand you.
Look, my phone is blowing up. But yeah, it's crazy out here in these streets. Now I will say, hold on. When you arrive, it's showing late update. Yep, sorry, just manager. Anywho, yes, we're at the end of the show though. If you guys, for those of you, whatever floats your boat, do your thing. We're always gonna have a conversation. Online is always gonna be a right, a left side, a middle side, a upside, and a downside to every conversation that is out there. People will agree or won't agree, but what I will say, it does start a conversation. And hopefully we can get to a place with your family member or your friends when talking about anything. Not everybody's gonna agree with you, but please do not make that your whole day. Like we can be mad in that moment, but baby, we got life to live. Okay, move on. Get out my way.
And remember that everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and y'all won't agree. It's their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to it. Just remember, you won't always agree.
Yeah, it's when it gets really fierce, and now you find yourself wanting to beat this person's behind. Do not give nobody that energy. If you believe in that something, you stand on it, and you move that person out of your way, and you keep fighting for whatever you stand on. Amen. Don't look for nobody else who don't agree with what your lifestyle is, how you moving, how you grooving. Don't look for that person to support you, because you don't want that support. It's never going to be authentic. Do you hear me? It's never going to be genuine.
Rebecca, you have started a new hashtag. I am the porn.
We have to get mugs. I'm telling you, if anybody wants to contribute to our morning mugs for like it or not, that'll be great. We will have
I got you. I have somebody that's gonna make us some mugs. They just got to get shipped from Texas, but he has the equipment, and I just got to get the mugs. So we gonna get us some mugs.
So we need to do the mugs. We need to get the mugs, and we can have all the greatest lines from this show on there. And yes, you are the porn. Remember that is the hashtag and the word of the day. No matter how religious or unreligious you are, when it comes to you and your partner or whoever you got side piece or whatever the case may be, you are the porn. I love you guys so much. We have gone to the end of the show. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, Patreons. Like it or not, that's patreon.com/like it or not. Please like, share, and subscribe if you know that we're doing. And if you want to give, because we are doing this thing for the frizzle, please hit us up on Cash App. That is DJ X3C and Becca's Voice. DJ X3C and Becca's Voice. Love you guys so much, and I will see you on Monday. Mwah.
Love y'all, mean it. I am the porn, yay. I am the future. I hate you, B. Hey, man. Enjoyed y'all today. Enjoyed y'all so much. Thank y'all again for everything that y'all do. Love y'all, mean it. Amber Layla. Do I have is it Zelle? What's the other one? I think it is Zelle. I have to look, Amber, and I'll hit you up and I'll let you know. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for everything. Good morning, Mama and Daddy. I love y'all. Awesome show today. And your affirmation for today. Your affirmation for today. I trust myself to make the right decision. I trust myself to make the right decision. Y'all gonna be great today, man. Do something good for yourself. Happy Friday Eve. We'll see y'all on Tuesday. Deuces.
You get mad every time you lose. You can't take me with you. I'm scared you're gonna blow your fuse. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, I can really start over. Yeah, in the back of my mind, there's someone waiting on me. You're just wasting my time because you're scared and lonely. Finally got some closure. Yeah, I can finally start over, yeah. So all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye.